Ghost mode. You probably heard it, and you might relate it to monk mode. Although they might seem really similar, ghost mode is far more efficient in my opinion. So while trying out this ghost mode, it might seem like the world is spinning at a different tempo while you're reaching those goals, but that's the beauty of it. You have your own goals and achievements in front of you, and nothing else matters. Nobody knows how hard you're working, and nobody knows how many hours you're dedicating to your craft. They even don't know what the craft is. No parties, no get-togethers, just you and your full focus. So I have done ghost mode for over a year now, and I can guarantee you the results. There are a few steps you need to do to apply these ghost modes and achieve your goals. Namely, 6. So the first one is your inner circle. The whole world really doesn't need to know what you're up to, not even your country, your city, or even your family. The more that you tell people the things you're doing, the more loose ends you're creating. Meaning, loose lips, they sink ships. It really doesn't matter if you lived your previous life as the holiest of saints or you were just like a bad person, but people shouldn't know your private business. It should remain only private to you. And yes, this also excludes your family. Of course, you can tell people things, and it's healthy to do so once in a while, but in my opinion, it's really important to keep your inner circle as small as possible. Let's say, for example, you have 2 side businesses that you're working on. If you have groups of people that you're working with in these side hustles, then yes, of course, share the information and grow together. But what do your past drinking buddies, your on and off friends, and even your family got to do with any of it? They are really not familiar with what you're doing and with the circumstances. They don't want to understand it anyway. Because in actuality, the only reason why people want to know these things about you, because then they can speculate about the things, about the missing blanks that you didn't tell them. And it's really not worth it. Believe me, I tried. So keep your circle solid and keep it small. This brings us to the second one, and it's radical responsibility. So if you want to do ghost mode correctly, then you need to know how to view things in the right perspective. Meaning, never point fingers at someone or situations. The best way to do this or to view this is whatever happens, it's your fault. And now let me explain. Seeing it this way helps you actually analyze and see the problem more clearly and come up with solutions. Once you do this long enough, it depends on your personality and what you have done in the past. It took me about 3 months. You start to see your habit of blaming others slowly disappear. Also, when you don't communicate to people who actually do this all the time, it will dissipate even faster, and it's all for your own good. So by analyzing, I really mean writing everything down and taking a deep dive at your past situations and people. Write down everything that you can think of that might have led to a situation or an outcome. After thinking about them for a while, you can really see what you could have done better or different. I'm not like an extreme follower of Dr. Peterson, but he has a really good quote on this. So what's one thing I'm doing wrong that I know I'm doing wrong that I could fix, that I would fix? So think about this for a while now, and you are going to get an answer. It's not going to be an answer that you like, but it's a thing you need to do. And yes, this is going to take a little bit of time, writing it all down and just analyzing it, but you'll be doing something 99% of people in the world never do, and it's analyzing their failures. That makes you different and eventually succeed. So by the way, thanks for listening up to this point, and I would like to ask you a question. I am between 2 topics for my next video, either different business ideas that you can start doing online today and start earning money fast, or how to start calisthenics, meaning bodyweight exercising. How to start it, what's the hustles, what you should avoid, and what you should do. If you could let me know down in the comments below, I would really appreciate it. All right, let's move on to the third one, but I have to make a small disclaimer on this one. It's a little bit hard to do in the first place, but once you get into it, you really start to enjoy it. Prioritize private victories rather than public ones. Most people don't even comprehend how many private victories it takes to get to the big ones that people tend to notice. Your own small goals that you achieve, aka your private victories, are so much more important than the ones you show in public. In fact, I actually encourage you not to show anything in public, only when you really need to. For example, even my closest friends and even my family don't know the businesses I own and what kind of contacts I have, how much I earn, or even where I go. I never let anyone know of my achievements, or for example, the deals I close in my editing business. Well, only my girlfriend knows about these things, but it's only because I cannot keep like a poker face from her. Other people, mostly those who don't have this radical responsibility personality trait in check I told you earlier about, would love to criticize you about everything what you do. And yes, they will still try, even if they don't know anything about you, but it's only based on assumptions, and who gives a you know? The bonus for this one is you see the people around you that believe in these bullshit stories, you can cut them out as well. But getting back to the topic, don't get overwhelmed or don't get scared about something that might seem like a big goal. Yes, people who have been at it for really long make it look really effortless, but that's the beauty of it. They have gone through all of the hardships, the private victories, and even the happiness along the way, and you have to do it as well if you want to achieve those bigger goals. And I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's not easy and it never will be, but it is going to be rewarding. A total ban on drugs and alcohol. So this is a massive one, and for those who have watched my channel before, definitely saw this coming. So yes, I still am fully sober and it's been about 1.5 years now, but this is not the point of this video at all. And I could talk about this for hours, but I am going to make it really simple. Alcohol and drugs are just plain evil. They give you zero, and yes, I'm going to say it with full confidence, zero benefits. They waste your time, they waste your life, they destroy your credibility and your focus. Also, the people around you usually suffer. I highly suggest you watch my sobriety videos in my playlist or in my videos page if you're interested, but I am not going to rant about it right now. But I really recommend you try out ghost mode for a while, but you quit drinking and doing drugs forever. Moving on to number 5. Reduce your consumption of media, and if you can, then deactivate or even delete your social media accounts. So before I go deeper on this one, I have to be clear on one point. If your social media accounts help your brand or business, or if you're a content creator, then yes, don't delete them, but try to reduce your consumption of it to a minimum. Just post stuff, don't consume. If you can find someone or hire someone to manage your social media accounts, even better. Otherwise, having a social media account is totally unnecessary and just distracting. In addition, really think through where you are getting your news from. So do you really need to know what Kanye West was saying to, I don't know, the Kardashians and I really don't have like an example because I don't watch the news at all. So for example, I only follow a few non-biased news sources online and that's about it. But during the time you're doing ghost mode, it's really unnecessary for you to follow any yellow papers. Maybe it's okay if you watch the news from time to time and just to keep you up to date, but really I strongly recommend you to delete your social media accounts. I actually went in depth on why you should quit social media in one of my previous videos. Think about it, I actually think I do need to make an update on it. So the best way to try this out is to deactivate them. You can see if you can manage for a while. And if you don't need it anymore, then you can just delete them. But try to save your pictures and videos before. Don't be like me in that regard, because I lost all of my pictures and videos at some point. But the amount of clarity, time, and creativity you gain from not dealing with social media is so insane. So I definitely suggest you try this out, even for a small amount of time, to see how it works out. So the final one I really want to go over is actually a one that I didn't want to add in this list before, but it's love relationships. It actually took me a really long time to get together my thoughts on this one. I don't mean you have to ditch your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or I don't know, your anyone. The world is weird nowadays. But the thing you must understand is if you find someone by your side, it has to be a really well-balanced person with the same growth mindset. Otherwise, this just won't work out. And I do have both perspectives on this, because when I started out ghost mode, I was single and fully alone and isolated. And halfway through, life just threw a curveball at me that I just couldn't afford to not try. I have seen so many examples of couples where one person is really like trying hard and wants to push forward. Then again, the other one is the complete opposite and just tries to stay stagnant and in his comfort zone all of the time. This way, the only path their relationship can go is nowhere. It all stays still until someone gets tired of staying still, or they both just linger into the far future and never do anything to achieve any of their goals. So if you have contact with some of these people, just cut them out. Then again, the most amazing support that you can have is to find someone by your side who has the same ambitions and goals. That is truly amazing, and I know this for a fact. If you want to keep your mind and body really balanced during this time, and I really do highly suggest you do so, then you really need to exercise. In order to achieve all of this and how to make these habits actually stick, I really highly suggest you watch this video. For real, watch this one. So see you there, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch ya. I'm still here.